Welcome to a brand new week. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm dressed thematically for this holiday. It doesn't happen often, just felt right today. Valentine's Day is really a focus on relationships. And when we're looking at our news stories, so many of our news stories are also really focused on relationships. It's easy to forget that when we approach topics academically or scientifically, but at the heart of these stories are real people. And it's particularly important to remember that when we're watching this developing situation in Eastern Europe between Russia, Ukraine, and NATO. You got a whole bunch of world leaders involved, a lot of different personalities. President Biden held a phone call with the Russian president over the weekend. We have no real news, big headlines coming from that call, no changing dynamic. And that's what we need to watch this week. What potentially changes the dynamic of this story? We know the United States is in a heightened posture of alert for a potential Russian invasion of Ukraine. You have Germany's chancellor, who was at the White House last week, actually meeting with Ukrainian leaders today, and then is expected to meet with the Russian president on Tuesday. So could he change the dynamic in any way? We'll watch for what potentially that catalyst could be. In the meantime, it's just a story to keep an eye on. Speaking of changing dynamics, I want to talk to you a little bit about some new research related to the heart, which is appropriate for today. Before I get to that, just a reminder. Over the course of the last 2 years, we've been covering the COVID-19 pandemic, the virus that causes COVID-19, the COVID-19 vaccine. We have repeatedly covered heart-related issues. It's been a pattern that we have seen repeatedly over the course of this time period. Researchers in this new study were looking at a group of people with prior COVID-19 infection, and they were comparing them to another large group of people that never had COVID-19, and then a large group of people from a couple years ago when the pandemic wasn't a reality. And what they found is that anyone with a prior COVID-19 infection of any race, age, gender, pre-existing condition, whether or not the case of COVID was mild or they were hospitalized, that in general, people with prior COVID-19 infection had a higher risk of any number of heart-related issues. Why is that specifically happening? They don't know. It's just an association that they thought is significant enough to flag. And this kind of falls into the category of news you can use. We don't want to cause anyone's heart rate to elevate with news like this because a lot of people have been exposed to COVID-19 or had a prior COVID-19 infection. They're not saying you're destined for heart-related issues. They're raising this with a question. Is there something about this virus that is different than other viruses that is causing heart-related risk? And is there any other commonality in this group that perhaps that they could be missing that could be causing this effect? So something to watch and something to be aware of. And finally, just want to leave you with this. The Los Angeles Rams won the Super Bowl this weekend. And their quarterback, when asked what made his team different than other teams, answered with this, that they take care of each other. They take care of each other. I thought that was pretty cool. Thank you for taking care of us at Smarter News. And if you have any questions and comments, let us know. Always more on smarternews.com. Have a great day.